Unit 8, Day 3, Slope Intercept Form. Alright, so if you haven't already, go back and listen to that school's rendition of YMCA to the tune of YMCA, the y equals mx plus b. That'll help make sure that you never forget the form that we're going to be talking about starting now, and we're going to really keep using it for most of the year, actually. So, we begin with the linear parent function. Okay, notice what's underlined in each one of these words. Okay, important facts about the linear parent function. The equation of the linear parent function is y equals x. Okay, the linear parent function has a slope of 1. The linear parent function has the point 0, 0 as the y-intercept. That point is also called the origin, as it is one of the most important points on the plane. Now, it's called the parent function because it's the simplest line. You could form any line. We'll actually see this in Unit 11. You can form any line starting with that. Okay. So, the slope intercept form of a line, y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. I wish I had some great reason why m and b are chosen as the letters there, but I really don't. Some places you actually might see a and b instead, but m is the one that we will see in Algebra 1 for the most part. Alright, now, this will be more important as we go. So, that b, when we go to graphing, is actually the starting point. B is the starting point for our graphs. Okay, and m, as we will keep recalling, is rise over run. Alright, so to begin with, if we know what the slope, the m, and we know what the b are, we know what those two numbers are, then we can very easily write the equation for this. It's y equals m, which in this case is 3, x plus b. So, and b in this case is 2, so 3x plus 2. Number 2, y equals mx plus b. So, m is negative 4, x plus b, which is a negative 3. So adding a negative 3 is the same as just subtracting. So, negative 4x minus 3. Number 3. Sure we know what order we're looking at. Y equals m. Well, m is 5/3 in this case. X, y equals mx plus b. So, minus 7. Nothing to it. Number 4, y equals mx plus b, again. So in this case, m, or the slope, is negative 3 over 7. X plus b, so plus 5. So make sure you don't lose the minus signs in there. 5, y equals m, that's our slope, negative 2x plus 0. Well, adding 0 doesn't change anything, so we can actually leave it off. And let's see, the last one of this kind, we get b is 6, m is 0, so y equals 0x, that's the m, mx plus b. Now you can actually just write that as y equals 6, because 0 times anything is just 0. So either one of those will work just fine. So, this part so far, really nothing to it. Okay, well, we will keep doing that. As we get to number 7, the directions change. Given the slope and the y-intercept, write an equation of the line and graph the line. Alright, so, first, write the equation. Well, that's the easy part. Y equals 1/2 x minus 4. Now, a lot of students either leave off the x or put x's where they don't need to have x's. Okay, so in this case, make sure that you know we have to have 1/2 x minus 4. It will not work, especially if you go to graph these or in the calculator or anything. It won't work without the x. It's just useless that way. Okay, now I said earlier that the b The y-intercept is the starting point. Okay, so that b right here, then this right here, tells us where to start. So we're going to start at -4. Okay, now we have rise over run. Remember, it's a positive slope, so it's going to go up and to the right. So we'll go up 1, and over 2, up 1 and over 2. We could also go down and to the left 2, and get ourselves a line. Now our line needs to make sure it goes through at least most of these points. Alright, so there we are. And again, make sure we put our arrows on the end. Alright. Number 8. So again, we get y-intercept is 2. M is -4/3. So we get y equals m, -4/3, x plus 2, because that's our y-intercept. Okay, so my starting place is +2, so I'm going to go 2 on the y-axis. Now my slope, notice we have a -4/3, so that means we go either down 4 to the right 3, we go up 4 and to the left 3. So if I go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, to the right 3, I have another point I can put right here. And let's see, let me try going back the other way. If I go up 4, 1, 2, 3, no, I can't do that. So those are the only 2 points that I can have. And my line goes through close, at least close to those 2, so I will call that good. I'll make sure to put my arrows on it. And there we have it. Y equals -4/3 x plus 2. And now we have number 9. So y equals mx plus b. It's an important formula or statement equation we're going to have so far. Y equals 2/3 x minus 2. Our starting place will be -2. Up 2. Go up 2 and to the right 3. Or we can go down 2 and to the left 3. So down 2 to the left 3. Or up 2 and to the right 3. Either way, we end up with a line that goes through here. And our line, and our ends on that, our arrows, and we're good to go. Okay. Now remember, as you're going through these, if you have questions while I'm in class, while I'm with you, ask them. If you don't have questions, then that's great too. But you check your work. Make sure that as you're doing them, that you make sure that what you have on your paper and what you have on what I have on the screen actually jive. They go together. Okay. Otherwise, your notes are useless. Okay. Make sure they're right as you do them. And as I said last time, and I say it again, math is all about practice. Okay. It's all about practicing. So doing it on your own, and then having a way to check it is the best way to practice there is. Okay. Safe practice. So as I continue on, and maybe you're already ahead of me. Number 10, I get y equals mx plus b. So -3 is our slope. -3x plus 0. Okay, now I don't really have to write that. So I'm going to kind of put this in parentheses there. You don't really have to have that. You could say y just equals -3x. Okay, but in any case, you could start at 0. If there isn't a starting point, you can think of it as being a plus 0 there. So we're starting at the origin. Now we have -3. So I'm going to write that as a fraction. -3, my slope is -3, so down 3. Is down 3. And to the right 1. Okay. Or up 3. And to the left 1. It's a negative slope, so we know what it should look like at the end. So if I go down 3 to the right 1, down 3 to the right 1, down 3 to the right 1. I can get several points there. Or up 3 to the left 1. Notice I can get lots of points on this graph. Now I just have to make sure that I get a line that goes through, that's awful, that goes through as many of those as I can. Okay, now I'll say this again because my lines are almost never perfect. I'm not going to get any better than that. As long as your points are perfect, I'm not too concerned about how close about your line. It needs to be relatively, it needs to be in the area, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I won't judge your art if you don't judge mine. Okay, so number 11. And actually, starting with number 11, I want to bring back that strange acronym. Not, like I said, they're not really words, but they're kind of a nice phrase to get stuck in your head. Hoi Vux. Horizontal, vertical. Okay? Alright, so if we have a zero slope, which we do right here, this is why I was pointing this out earlier. Zero slope is going to be horizontal, and it's going to be a y equals line. So your equation is going to be, when we get down to this, is y equals 1. We have our slope is 0, so there's no x term. And it's going to be a horizontal line that goes through 1. Okay? So I've been using this for a while because it just fits perfect. I'm drawing that a little above 1 so that you can see it well. But there it is. Horizontal, 0 slope, y equals. Now, on the contrary, for this one, we have the slope is undefined for 12. Okay, so it is undefined. So it's a vertical line, and it's an x equals line. Okay, so our equation, as they actually already gave us right here, is x equals 5. And it's going to go through x equals 5, and it's going to be a vertical line. Vertical line. Okay? And that's why I've been using this hoi vux, this phrase, for so long. Because it really makes sense when you get down to these things right here. To having to slope in the y-intercept. So, alright, on we go. Write a linear equation by finding the slope and y-intercept from the following graphs. Alright, so the y-intercept is almost always really easy. Okay, so where does our y-axis hit our graph? Well, in this case, right there at -2. Okay, right there at -2. So that point right there is -2, 0. The slope, now I need 2 points to find the slope. I just have -2, 0. Okay, and then I also have, let's see, how about right over here, -2. Oh my gosh, I just made a mistake that hopefully you guys don't ever make. Hopefully you see it. You may have already called me on it. What did I just do? I wrote -2, 0. That means that I go to the left 2 and up 1, or up 0, which is this point right over here. That is not my y-intercept. My y-intercept is 0, -2. Forgive me. 0, -2. That could have ended really badly. So, if you make that mistake, just know that it's an easy mistake to make. Hopefully I don't ever make that mistake again. Alright, let's see. So, now I need another point to find this. So now, -2, 0. Now, I only noticed that I made that mistake because my second point is actually negative 2, 0. Just kind of a lucky coincidence for me. All right, now my rise is actually going down 2, and my run is over 2. Okay, so it's a negative slope. I can tell because it's going down to the right. So it should be negative 2 over 2, which happens to be 1. So my equation is y equals mx, so negative 1x, plus b. In this case, my b is actually negative 2. B is negative 2 because it comes from the y-intercept right there. Okay. So 14, first thing I want to immediately notice is my y-intercept is 3. 0, 3. So 0, 3. So when I get down to my equation, I'm going to actually have a plus 3. Y equals something x plus 3. Okay, now I need another point. How about 4, 4? 4, 4 looks pretty perfect to me. The rise is 1, the run is 4. So rise over run is 1 over 4. It's positive, so it actually is just 1/4. So I'll have 1/4 x, 1/4 x plus 3. By the way, take a second and notice that slope does not have an x. Slope is a number. In my equation, I have an x. And that's how I know where the slope is in my equation, but it is not the slope. The actual slope is negative 1/4. It's not negative 1/4 x. It's negative 1/4 all by itself. That number is our slope. Alright, 15. Oh boy, we get an easy one. Okay, we get an easy one because we have the phrase hoi fucks. Horizontal line, 0 slope, y equals something. And let's see, the y-intercept here is 3. So we get 0, 3. So our equation is y equals 3. And we get the vux part of this. The slope, well, this line is actually vertical. So it's an undefined slope. Oh, have I shown you Slope Dude yet? Oh my gosh, this day cannot get any better. We get Slope Dude, we've also got the y equals mx plus b. I have to show you Slope Dude. Before class is over, you got to let me know. If not, just go to YouTube and look it up. Slope Dude is awesome. One of the best videos out there. So undefined, our y-intercept, now wait a second, we're into this funny thing here. Is there a y-intercept? This line is, these are actually parallel. Right? These are parallel, so that's never going to hit the y-axis. So this y-intercept, we're actually going to have to say none. Now going back over here, it's an undefined, so it's an x equals line. So it's going to be x equals negative 3 because that's where the x-intercept was. Alright. Put into slope intercept form and graph. We got a little bit of practice with this the other day. And that was hopefully to ease us into that. So if you notice slope intercept form, I probably ought to write this again. Let's fix that. Okay. Slope intercept form equation is y equals mx plus b. So we need y by itself to be in slope intercept form. So to get y by itself, I'm going to box in my y. I'm going to have to subtract x from both sides. Okay, so I get negative y equals negative x plus 5. Okay, and I want to make special note, there's a negative 1 right there. So invisible 1 or understood 1. So I divide by negative 1. Now, we're just going to persist with us for a long time, okay? But I need to divide everything by negative 1. So there's also an understood 1 right there. So that ends up being a positive 1. Positive 1x minus 5. Okay, so my starting place, what is my starting place? It's at negative 5 right there. So I'm going to start at negative 5, right down here. My slope is 1, which means I go up 1 and over 1. And it's positive, so I'm going to the right. Okay. I'm just putting lots of points that I can put in there. There we go. Nothing to it. Once we get y by itself, there's really nothing to it with these. Okay, trust me, we will get plenty of practice getting y by itself. So if you feel a little uneasy with it, we will get practice at it. And there will be a couple in your assignment like this, but this is really just getting us into it. Okay, we're going to be doing this for a while now. Okay, so number 18, we want to get y by itself. So I'm going to box 2y in. So I have to get rid of this pesky little minus x right there. So I'm going to have to do the opposite, which is add 1x to both sides. I've got to do it on both sides. So I get 1x minus 6. And those two are a zero pair. They cancel out. Okay, so I get 2y. Well, I've got to divide by 2 to get y by itself. Right, now, 2 does go evenly to the 6, so I get a minus 3 at the end. I get y by itself. I know I'll have an x in there, but 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. Okay, now remember that we like having it as a fraction because we can say rise over run. So our starting place is negative 3. Negative 3 on the y-axis. Up 1 over 2. To the right 2. Up 1 over 2. To the right. Up 1 to the right 2. Up 1 to the right 2. Up 1 to the right 2. Okay. I think that's pretty darn close to the points I've got. Oops. Alright. Put our arrows in the ends, and there we have it. Alright, 19. Wonderful. Alright, so we've got negative 1/3 y minus x equals 3. What do I want by itself? Okay, I want to actually go and box this thing in. So I'm going to box in the negative 1/3 y. So I need to get rid of this x right here. So I'm going to add 1x. 1x to both sides. So I get x 1x plus 3 equals negative 1/3 y. Okay, now I'm going to have to multiply by negative 3 over 1. It's reciprocal for this. Now here's the deal. I need to make sure I multiply everything by negative 3 over 1 on both sides. So I'll get y on one side. I will get y. Let's see. 1 times negative 3 over 1 is negative 3x. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Okay. Now notice, I multiplied by negative 3 over 1. You could have, and probably most of you are just finished asking me right now, can I just divide by negative 1/3? Yes, as a matter of fact, you can. They're the exact same. Okay, so if I take that equation right there, that equation, I'm going to start at -9. -9 my y-axis. And I'm going to go either one of the two, down 3 and to the right 1, or up 3 and to the left 1. It's useful to keep track because I mean a negative slope actually does that, right? It goes either down and to the right or up and to the left. Now, perhaps that picture didn't help you too much. But let me draw that again. A negative slope either goes down and to the left, or up and to the, or down and to the right, or up and to the left. That's exactly where I get these things down here from. Alright, so I start at -9 down here, and I can either go up 3, 1, 2, 3, to the left 1, or I can go down 3 into the, no I can't, I ran out of graph space, so that's what we need to know, that we can do this. Continue going up 3 to the left 1, up 3 to the left 1, hit there at -3, 0. And I keep going ad nauseum. Oh, that line doesn't fit at all. Let me try that again. Because, you know, my line needs to be relatively close to my points. Okay, there we go. That works a lot better. I will just add my arrows on it. And that will be good. Alright, last, certainly not least, number 20. We have a bit of an issue here because we want what by itself. For slope intercept form, we need y equals mx plus b. Yes, feel free to start singing the song. Hopefully it's stuck in your head. That was the point. Haha. Didn't I pick a good song? Okay. So, I want to get y by itself here, so I need to somehow get 5y by itself. So, I need to add 2x to the other side. But if you notice, I'm also going to have to subtract 40 from both sides. So I'm going to get 5y equals 2x minus 40. And then I'm going to have to divide by 5 like I do every other time. And so I get y equals 2/5 x minus 8. Right, so my starting point is -8. So on my y-axis, -8, and then 2/5, so up 2 over, up 2 into the right 5, or down 2 into the left 5. So let me just start going the other way. Down 2 to the left 5. I get a point right there. Okay, now just to show you that that actually is in the line, I'll go up 2 into the right 5. And they end up all on that same line. And there we have it.